Yesterday we have discussed all about introduction to nervous system and neuron, structure of neuron, function of neuron, classification of neuron. So today's topic is synapse. So what is synapse? Synapse is the junction between two neurons. When two neurons are connected to one another, the connection between two neurons is known as synapse. And it is not an anatomical continuation, but it is only a physiological continuity between two nerve cells. Anatomically, these are not connected to one another, but physiologically, these are connected to one another. What does it mean that anatomically, these are not, there is no connection between these two neurons? These are separated from one another by a space that is known as synaptic cleft. But physiologically, there is continuity between the two nerve cells. How it is connected, what is the continuity between the two nerve cells physiologically? It means that it is connected to one another by the release of a chemical messenger that is known as neurotransmitter. The neurotransmitter is released from one neuron and it will act on the membrane of other neuron. So this is a physiological continuity between the two nerve cells. Anatomically, these are not connected, but physiologically, these are connected. So if we classify the synapse is classified into by two methods. One is anatomical classification and the other one is functional classification. Anatomical classification means that the which structure of the synapse is present between the which process of the neuron. As you know that there are two processes of the neuron. One is known as dendrite and the other is known as axon. So usually synapses formed by the axon of one neuron ending on the body, on the cell body, dendrite or the axon of the next neuron. So kindly mute your mic mute कर लें. So what is synapse? Synapse is the connection between two neurons. So the axon of one neuron is connected to either the cell body of the other neuron, either the dendrite of the other neuron, or either the axon of the other neuron. So this is the connection which is classified as anatomical. Anatomical means on the basis of its structure, it is classified into different types. As axonic, the name indicates that the synapse is present between the axon of one neuron to the axon of the other neuron. This type of synapse is known as axonic synapse, in which the axon of one neuron terminates on the axon of another neuron. The second one is exodendritic. As the name indicates that if the axon of one neuron is connected to the dendrite of the other neuron, in which the axon of one neuron terminate on the dendrite of another neuron. And exosomatic. Soma means body or the cell body of the neuron. So the axon of one neuron is connected to the soma or the cell body of the other neuron. Axon of one neuron and on the soma or cell body of another neuron. Look at this diagram. The first synapse is between the axon of two neurons. The axon of one neuron terminate on the axon of another. This is a typical structure of the neuron, this is the soma or cell body of the neuron. These are the short processes which are known as dendrites, and this is a long process which is known as axon. And these are the terminals of the axon, which is known as axon terminal, in which the neurotransmitter is stored. So this type of synapse is known as axonic synapse. The synapse between the axon of one neuron connected to the axon of another neuron. This type of synapse is known as exodendritic. The axon of one neuron terminates on the dendrite of another neuron, and this type of synapse is known as exosomatic synapse, in which the axon of one neuron terminate on the cell body of another neuron. So these are the connections between the two neurons, which are classified on the basis of anatomical structures. What is functional classification? The functional classification of the synapse is on the basis of mode of impulse transmission. in impulse transmission. So how these neurons, what is the function of neuron? The neuron is responsible for the transmission of impulses from one neuron to the other neuron, and this impulse is generated in the form of action potential, just like the action potential we have studied in the cardiac muscle fiber, but there is difference in ions, and there is difference in voltages of the action potential. But as we have studied in the cardiac muscle fiber, that there is a stimulus which will start the impulse, and that stimulus will start the impulse in the form of action potential. That action potential is then, after the generation, it is propagated, and the propagation of that impulse in the neuron. So in the neuron, this impulse is propagated to the axon terminal, and in the axon terminal it will stimulate the axon terminal to release a chemical messenger, that is neurotransmitter, that has been stored in that axon terminal. That neurotransmitter, after the release into the synaptic cleft, it will act on a receptor that is present on the surface of the postsynaptic membrane. Postsynaptic membrane means the membrane of the neuron after the synapse, and it will bind with the receptor, and it will initiate the impulse in that next neuron. So this is the function of the a neuron in the form of impulse, in the form of action potential. So the functional classification of the synapse is on the basis of mode of impulse, how this impulse is transmitted in the neuron. And according to this, synapse is classified into two categories. The number one is electrical synapse, and the other one is chemical. Electrical synapse, in which electrical charges are produced, only impulse, and the chemical, in which neurotransmitter is involved. However, generally, the word synapse refers to a chemical. Normally, if we say that synapse, the function of synapse, so it will refer to a chemical synapse. Electrical synapse is the synapse in which the physiological continuity between the presynaptic and the postsynaptic neuron is provided by a gap junction between the two neurons, and there is direct exchange of ions between the two neurons through the gap junction. Because of this reason, the action potential reaching the terminal portion of the presynaptic neuron directly enter the postsynaptic neuron. Look at this diagram. There are two types of synapses. One is electrical synapse and the other one is chemical. In electrical synapse, the continuity is through the gap junction. So as you know that these gap junctions are permeable to ions, ion can cross the gap junction. So if the impulse has been generated in this neuron, this is presynaptic neuron. Presynaptic neuron is a neuron that is present before the synapse, and postsynaptic is that is present after the synapse. This is the continuation, this is the junction between the two neuron, and the space between these two neurons is known as synaptic cleft. So in the electrical synapse, as the name indicates, there is only electrical continuation, there is no chemical involved. So the electrical continuation is that the impulse has been generated because of any stimulus in this neuron, and this electrical stimulus has to be passed to the other postsynaptic neuron through these gap junctions, and these gap junctions are permeable to ion. This type of synapse is known as electrical synapse. Look at this synapse. This is the presynaptic neuron. There is space between the two neurons, and this is postsynaptic. You can see the vesicles in this neuron, that is the presynaptic neuron. This is the axon terminal. This one is axon terminal. The swollen portion of the axon is known as axon terminal. So the vesicles are, these are the vesicles which are stored in the axon terminal, and these vesicles contain neurotransmitter, and neurotransmitter is a chemical. So after the impulse reaches this axon terminal, it will start releasing these neurotransmitter which are stored in the vesicles, and the neurotransmitter has to be released to the synaptic cleft. When it is released in the synaptic cleft, it will act on the receptor which is present on the membrane of the postsynaptic neuron. So the receptor is present here. This chemical messenger, which is known as neurotransmitter, it will bind with the receptor on the postsynaptic neuronal membrane, and it will cause the generation of action potential here. It will cause the opening of the channels because of the because of the formation of complex between the neurotransmitter and the receptor. Because of that, it will open the channels, and because of the opening of the channel there will be movement of ions, and because of the movement of ions across this membrane, the movement of ion across the membrane from the interstitial fluid, it will generate an action potential here, and this action potential is then propagated in the whole neuron. So this type of synapse is known as chemical synapse. Important feature of electrical synapse is that the synaptic delay is very less because of the direct flow of current. There is no delay in the current because the current directly flow from one neuron to the other neuron, and this can occur in the chemical synapse because of the release of neurotransmitter, and then combination of this neurotransmitter to the receptor, and then initiation of the response. So there is delay in the chemical synapse, but the synaptic delay in electrical synapse is very less. And why it is less? Because of the direct flow of current. Moreover, the impulse is transmitted in either direction through the electrical synapse. This type of impulse transmission occur in some tissues like the cardiac muscle fiber, smooth muscle fiber of intestine, and the epithelial cell of the lens in the eye. Next one is chemical synapse. Chemical synapse is the junction between the nerve fiber and the muscle fiber, or between the two nerve fibers, through which the signals are transmitted by the release of a chemical messenger or chemical transmitter, which is known as neurotransmitter. So what is chemical synapse? First of all, it is present between the two neurons. It can be present between the two neurons, or it is present between the neuron and the effector organ, that is a muscle, that is a gland, and the action or the function is performed by the release of a chemical substance that is known as chemical transmitter or neurotransmitter. In the chemical synapse, there is no continuity between the two neurons. There is no connection between the two neurons, and because of the presence of a space that is known as synaptic cleft that is present between the two neurons. When the space is present between the two neurons, it is known as synaptic cleft. Action potential reaching the presynaptic terminal cause the release of neurotransmitter. The action potential that is present in the presynaptic neuron, it will cause the release of neurotransmitter substance from the vesicles of that axon terminal, and neurotransmitter will reach the postsynaptic neuron through this synaptic cleft, and it will cause the production of potential change. As it will bind with the receptor, so it will cause the production of potential change, and structure and function of the chemical synapse are given as I told you in the diagram. Functional anatomy of chemical synapse. Chemical synapse, the neuron from which the axon arises, that is called presynaptic neuron, and the neuron on which the axon terminates or ends, that is known as postsynaptic neuron. So there are two types of neuron which are connected to one another. One is known as presynaptic, and the other one is known as postsynaptic. Axon of presynaptic neuron divide into many small branches before forming the synapse, and these branches are known as presynaptic axon terminal. The axon of the neuron is always divided into number of branches at the end, and this end is known as neuron terminal or axon terminal. Actually, that is the branches of the axon. That's why it is known as axon terminal. Look at this diagram. This is axon, and this swollen portion of the axon is known as axon terminal. So there are two types of axon terminal. One is in the form of branches, and one is in the form of this knob-like structure or swollen portion. So this is known as axon terminal. The space between the two neurons, this is postsynaptic neuron. The membrane of postsynaptic neuron having receptor proteins. These are the receptors which are present on the postsynaptic neuronal membrane. This is postsynaptic neuron. This is postsynaptic neuronal membrane. This is the space in between the two neurons that is known as synaptic cleft. This is presynaptic axon terminal. This is presynaptic membrane. These are the mitochondria which are present in the axon, and this is a synaptic vesicle in which neurotransmitter is stored. So axon have terminals, and those terminals are divided into two types. One are known as axon terminal knobs, and the other are known as terminal coils, or these are also known as free endings. Terminal knobs are enlarged structures or the swollen portion of the axon at the end, and these are known as terminal knob. Terminal mean at the end, and knob is knob-like structure. Terminal knobs are concerned with the excitatory function of the synapse. So there are two types of function. One is excitatory function and one is inhibitory function. As we have discussed that some neurotransmitters are excitatory, some are inhibitory, and I will discuss the neurotransmitter in detail, that what are excitatory neurotransmitters and what are inhibitory neurotransmitter, which are concerned with the excitation of another neuron, that is known as excitatory neurotransmitter, and the neurotransmitter that is responsible for the inhibition of another neuron, that is known as inhibitory neurotransmitter. So the terminal knobs are concerned with the excitatory function of the synapse, and terminal coils are free endings. These are the other types of axon terminals, having wavy or coil structures at the terminal, and these do not contain any knob, and these terminals are mostly concerned with the inhibitory type of functions. Structure of axon terminal and presynaptic membrane. Presynaptic axon terminal has a definite intact membrane, which is known as presynaptic membrane. Axon terminal has two important structures. One is mitochondria, which help in the synthesis of neurotransmitter substance, and synaptic vesicle, which are responsible for the storage of the neurotransmitter. Synaptic cleft and postsynaptic. Synaptic cleft is the space between the two neurons, and postsynaptic membrane is the membrane of the postsynaptic neuron. Membrane of postsynaptic neuron is postsynaptic membrane. उसके ऊपर receptors हैं which contain receptor proteins, and to these receptors the neurotransmitter will bind. Small spaces in between the presynaptic membrane and the postsynaptic membrane is synaptic cleft. The basal lamina of this cleft contain choline esterase which destroy the acetylcholine. There is an enzyme which is present in this synaptic cleft, that is known as choline esterase enzyme, and this choline esterase enzyme is responsible for the destruction of acetylcholine. What is acetylcholine? It is a neurotransmitter that is released from the presynaptic neuron, and it will act on the postsynaptic neuron. Functions of synapse. As you know that on the basis of synapse, on the basis of function, we have classified it into electrical and chemical because of the stimulus or the mode of transmission of the impulse. The function is based on two types of function. One is excitatory function and the other is inhibitory. Some neurotransmitters are responsible for excitation of the other neuron, and some neurotransmitters are responsible for the inhibition of the other neuron. So main function of synapse is to transmit the impulses. What is impulse? That is action potential that has been generated in the neuron, and action potential is transmitted from one neuron to the other neuron. However, some of the synapses inhibit these impulses, so the impulses are not transmitted to the postsynaptic neuron. On the basis of these, we classify synapses into two types as excitatory synapses and inhibitory. Excitatory, which is responsible for the transmission of impulses, and inhibitory, which are responsible for the inhibition of transmission of impulses. So the first one is excitatory function. Excitatory postsynaptic potential is the non-propagated electrical potential that develop during the process of synaptic transmission. When the action potential reaches the presynaptic axon terminal, the voltage-gated calcium channels at the presynaptic membrane are opened, and now the calcium ions enter the axon terminal from the ECF. So look at this flow chart. This is presynaptic neuron, and this is postsynaptic neuron, and this is the cleft between the two neurons. So what is the mechanism? This is the arrival of action potential in the axon terminal. We are talking about the presynaptic neuron now, and presynaptic neuron is the action potential has been generated in the presynaptic neuron because of any stimulus. Stimulus kahan se aata hai? Stimulus is from the brain, stimulus is from the spinal cord. ठीक है? Like we have discussed in many processes that, for example, if we talk about the regulation of blood pressure, so if you remember the mechanism, that is baroreceptor reflex, that baroreceptors are the receptor which will sense the blood pressure, the increase or decrease in blood pressure. It will send impulses through the sensory neuron. Sensory neuron is the neuron which carry the impulses from the receptor to the brain or the spinal cord. So it will carry the impulses to the brain. And in brain, some centers are present which are concerned with a specific function. So the vasomotor center is present in the brain, that is concerned with the regulation of the blood pressure. It will receive the impulses through the sensory area, and then it will respond according to the this stimulus. So it will send impulses to the other neurons, which we have discussed: efferent neurons or the motor neurons, having two types: vasoconstrictor fibers and vasodilator fibers. Fibers are actually neurons. So impulse has been generated in that fiber because of the stimulus. That stimulus or that response or that processing has been generated in the brain or spinal cord. So that is the arrival of action potential, and this action potential is then propagated in the whole neuron, and it will then reach the axon terminal. Now the action potential is present in the axon terminal. What's happening in the axon terminal? Because of this action potential, that is a voltage, it will cause the opening of the channels which are present in the at the end of the axon, that is the axon terminal, and those channels are known as calcium channels. As these channels are open because of the action potential or the voltage, so these channels are known as voltage gated channels. Opening of the calcium channel in the presynaptic membrane, so calcium from the outside environment will enter into the neuron, and influx of calcium ion from the ECF into the axon terminal, and this calcium is then responsible for the opening. It will bind with the vesicles. It will cause the movement of vesicles towards the presynaptic membrane, and it will release the neurotransmitter from the vesicles by opening the vesicles. So it will open the vesicles, and there will be release of acetylcholine. This acetylcholine will then move to the synaptic cleft. So the passage of acetylcholine through the synaptic cleft. After reaching the synaptic cleft, it will bind with the receptors which are present on the surface of postsynaptic neuron. So on the postsynaptic neuron, this acetylcholine will bind with the receptor, and it will form acetylcholine receptor complex. This complex is responsible for the opening of sodium channels and influx of sodium ions from the ECF. Now, because of the opening of this channel and the influx of sodium ion, it is responsible for the formation of action potential, and that action potential is known as EPSP, excitatory postsynaptic potential. As this is excitatory, so this is E, and it is present in the postsynaptic membrane, so it is postsynaptic potential. So this is the development of excitatory postsynaptic potential. This potential that has been created in the postsynaptic membrane, this potential is then responsible for the opening of other channels. So these channels are ligand gated channels. These are opened because of the chemical, that is acetylcholine, and once this excitatory postsynaptic potential has been produced, then this is responsible for the opening of other channels. Now these channels are known as voltage gated channels, and there is opening of sodium channels in the initial segment of the axon. Then there will be influx of sodium ion from the ECF, and there is development of action potential. This action potential will propagate in the neuron and reach the axon terminal of the postsynaptic neuron, and the spread of action potential through through the axon and postsynaptic neuron. And at the postsynaptic neuron, again there will be opening of calcium channel. Calcium will diffuse into the membrane. It will cause the opening of the vesicles. It will cause the release of the neurotransmitter on the target organ, whatever the target organ may be. It may be a muscle, it may be a gland. So if you look at this diagram, this one, this is the whole mechanism that is involved in the transmission of this postsynaptic membrane, or this whole. Look at this diagram. This is presynaptic neuron. The nerve impulse or the action potential will reach the axon terminal. Now this is axon terminal. This nerve impulse is responsible for the opening of calcium channels. These are the calcium channels which are present in the membrane of this axon terminal. So this impulse reaching the axon terminal, it will cause the opening of calcium channel. This calcium will move from the ECF to the inside. So look at this, and these are known as voltage gated calcium channel, because these channel will open because of the change in the action. This is voltage, so these are voltage gated channel. Calcium will move from the outside environment into the cleft, into this axon terminal. This is synaptic end bulb or knob, and this is the space or the area between the two neurons. This calcium is responsible for the movement of these vesicles. Look at these vesicles. These vesicles are the synaptic vesicles, in which there is a neurotransmitter substance, and that has been stored in the vesicle. This calcium is responsible for the movement of these vesicles towards the membrane. When these vesicles bind with this membrane, this calcium is responsible for the opening of these vesicles. When these vesicles open, there is release of neurotransmitter substance from the presynaptic membrane. So the presynaptic membrane will release the neurotransmitter substance, which is acetylcholine. Acetylcholine is present between the presynaptic and postsynaptic membrane. So this is acetylcholine, which has been released in the area that is synaptic cleft. It will bind with the receptor. Now these are the receptors which are present in the postsynaptic membrane, and these are postsynaptic membrane receptors. This neurotransmitter will bind with the receptor. This is the receptor for this neurotransmitter. Now as this is a chemical substance, this is a ligand. So look at this, these are ligand gated channels. These are closed because of the binding with the receptor. These become open, and because of the opening of the channel, this sodium that is present in this synaptic cleft, sodium ion, these are the sodium channels, ligand gated channels. So because of the opening of these channels, sodium will move from the outside of the membrane into the membrane, and it is responsible for the formation of postsynaptic potential, that is excitatory postsynaptic potential. This excitatory postsynaptic potential, that is known as nerve impulse, this is responsible for the generation of another potential, that is, it is responsible for the opening of another channel that is also present in this membrane, and that channel is then known as voltage gated channel. Because of the opening of that channel, it is responsible for the development of potential, and that potential is then propagated to the whole neuron. So calcium ion cause the release of neurotransmitter substance from the vesicles by means of exocytosis. This is opposite to that of endocytosis. So neurotransmitter, which is excitatory in function, excitatory neurotransmitter pass through the presynaptic membrane to the synaptic cleft. It will reach the postsynaptic membrane, then it will bind with the receptor, and it will form a complex, and this complex causes the production of non-propagated EPSP. This is non-propagated EPSP. It cannot propagate. It is just responsible for opening of another channel, which is known as voltage gated channel. And voltage gated channels open, sodium ion will move into the membrane, and then that is responsible for the formation of action potential, and that action potential is then propagated. It will move into the whole nerve fiber, and it will reach the axon terminal. And the common excitatory neurotransmitter in the synapse is acetylcholine. Mechanism क्या है development का EPSP के? This was the whole mechanism which I have discussed. Neurotransmitter, then complex opening of sodium channel. Sodium channel will enter from the ECF to the postsynaptic neuron. As sodium are positively charged, the resting membrane potential inside the cell body alter हो जाएगा, which is known as mild depolarization, and this type of depolarization is called EPSP, and it is a local potential response in the synapse. Properties क्या है EPSP की? The one property, it is non-propagated. ठीक है, and it does not obey all or none law. All or none law क्या कहता है कि if the impulse reaching the any terminal or any area, if the strength of the stimulus is not advocate, it will not show the response. मीन्स जैसे हमने कार्डिक मसल फाइबर में पढ़ा था कि उसके लिए कार्डिक मसल फाइबर की स्टिमुलेशन के लिए जो इम्पल्स चाहिए उसका एक थ्रेशोल्ड होता है, उस थ्रेशोल्ड से नीचे अगर वो होगा तो वो उसको स्टिमुलेट नहीं कर सकता. ठीक है, तो या तो स्टिमुलेट होगा, सारे के सारे फाइबर्स होंगे, दिस इज ऑल, और अगर स्टिमुलस की स्ट्रेंथ कम हुई तो वो एक्साइटेशन नहीं करेगा, दैट इज नोन एज नन. That is known as all or none law. As EPSP किस चीज पर डिपेंड करे? It is dependent on the neurotransmitter, that is a chemical substance, and chemical ligand gated channels are opened. So this EPSP is non-propagated one. It is a localized potential, and this localized potential is responsible for the generation of action potential. So it is non-propagated, and it does not obey all or none law. What is the significance of this EPSP? EPSP is not transmitted into the axon of postsynaptic neuron. However, it causes the development of action potential in the axon. Then EPSP is strong enough, it causes opening of voltage-gated sodium channels in the initial segment of the axon. Due to the entrance of sodium ions, the depolarization occur in the initial segment of the axon, and this action potential then develop from here. The action potential spread to the other segment of the axon. Inhibition of the synaptic transmission is then classified into 5 types. That was all about excitatory function. Inhibitory function, how inhibition occur in the neuron or the synapse. So inhibition of synaptic transmission is classified into 5 types. One is postsynaptic or direct inhibition, presynaptic or indirect inhibition, negative feedback, or it is also known as Renshaw cell inhibition, feed forward inhibition, and reciprocal inhibition. The inhibitory function of the synapse is the inhibition of synaptic transmission, and it is classified into 5 types. One is postsynaptic or direct inhibition, just like as we have discussed is the excitatory function, that was direct excitation from the presynaptic to the postsynaptic neuron. This is postsynaptic or direct inhibition, presynaptic or indirect inhibition, negative feedback or Renshaw cell inhibition, feed forward inhibition, and reciprocal inhibition. So the first one is postsynaptic or direct inhibition. Postsynaptic or direct inhibition is the type of synaptic inhibition that occur due to the release of an inhibitory neurotransmitter from the presynaptic terminal instead of an excitatory neurotransmitter substance, and it is also called direct inhibition. And the inhibitory neurotransmitters are GABA, that is gamma aminobutyric acid, dopamine and glycine. जिस तरह अभी हमने एक्साइटेटरी फंक्शन पढ़ा, उसमें क्या था, एक न्यूरोट्रांसमीटर आया, उसने सोडियम चैनल्स को ओपन किया, सोडियम चैनल ओपन हुए तो उसकी वजह से सोडियम आयन एंटर हुए, सोडियम आयन के एंट्री की वजह से वो जो नेगेटिव मेम्ब्रेन पोटेंशियल होता है वो पॉजिटिव में कन्वर्ट हो जाता है, एंड दैट इज कन्वर्टेड टू एक्शन पोटेंशियल। तो इसी तरह इसमें क्या होता है पोस्ट साइनेप्टिक या डायरेक्ट इनहिबिशन में, कि इसमें भी उसी तरह वेसिकल्स टूटते हैं, उसमें से एक न्यूरोट्रांसमीटर रिलीज होता है, एंड दैट न्यूरोट्रांसमीटर इज एक्चुअली एन इनहिबिटरी न्यूरो। वो एक्साइटेटरी था, ये क्या है, इनहिबिटरी है। तो ये क्या करता है, ये जाके पोस्ट साइनेप्टिक मेम्ब्रेन पे सोडियम चैनल को ओपन नहीं करता बल्कि क्लोराइड चैनल को ओपन करता है। तो हलीम 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 खान क्यों लाइनें लगा रहे हो? I can see who can do this thing. आपका नाम आ जाता है साथ जो कि लाइन लगाता है। बच्चों वाले काम मत करो। आपको पता है इसकी वजह से बहुत बड़ा इशू पहले भी बना है। इंसान के बच्चे बन जाओ। So this is known as direct inhibition. इसमें क्या होता है कि जो inhibitory neurotransmitter है, that is GABA. GABA is gamma aminobutyric acid या डोपामीन है या ग्लाइसिन है। तो ये क्या करता है, प्री साइनेप्टिक वेसिकल से उसी तरह रिलीज हो जाता है और जाके पोस्ट साइनेप्टिक मेम्ब्रेन में अपने रिसेप्टर के ऊपर बाइंड करता है। जब ये अपने रिसेप्टर के ऊपर बाइंड करता है तो वहां पे सोडियम चैनल को ओपन करने के बजाय क्लोराइड चैनल्स को ओपन करता है। तो एज यू नो क्लोराइड आयंस आर नेगेटिव, तो वो बजाय उस नेगेटिव जो अंदर नेगेटिव पोटेंशियल होता है उसको पॉजिटिव करने के बजाय मजीद नेगेटिव कर लेता है। जब वो मजीद नेगेटिव हो जाता है तो एक्शन पोटेंशियल जनरेशन नहीं होती। एक्शन पोटेंशियल जनरेशन नहीं होती तो ऑटोमेटिकली वो क्या हो जाता है, इनहिबिट हो जाता है। दिस इज नोन एज पोस्ट साइनेप्टिक इनहिबिशन। एक्शन क्या है अब गाबा का, इसको थोड़ा समझें। दिस इज नोन एज डेवलपमेंट ऑफ IPSP, that was EPSP, that is excitatory post synaptic potential, and this one is IPSP, that is inhibitory post synaptic पोटेंशियल। तो गाबा से क्या प्रोड्यूस होता है, एक्साइटेशन के बजाय इनहिबिशन होती है, एंड इनहिबिटरी पोस्ट साइनेप्टिक पोटेंशियल प्रोड्यूस होता है, एंड दिस इज द इलेक्ट्रिकल पोटेंशियल इन द फॉर्म ऑफ हाइपर पोलराइजेशन। वो क्या था, depolarization, ये क्या है, hyperpolarization that develops during the post synaptic inhibition। तो inhibitory neurotransmitter substance जो है it will act on the post synaptic membrane by binding with the receptor, and transmitter receptor complex बन जाएगा, और ये क्या करता है, it will cause the opening of the degenerated potassium channels instead of sodium channel। now potassium channels आपको पता है कि पोटाशियम चैनल्स जब ओपन होते हैं तो पोटाशियम का हमेशा क्या होता है, ई फ्लक्स होता है, ठीक है। सोडियम का क्या होता है, इनफ्लक्स होता है, और पोटाशियम का क्या होता है, ई फ्लक्स होता है, जो कि हमने कार्डिक मसल फाइबर में भी पढ़ा था। तो जब पोटाशियम चैनल्स ओपन हो जाएंगे तो द पोटाशियम आयन विच आर अवेलेबल इन प्लेंटी इन द सेल बॉडी ऑफ द पोस्ट साइनेप्टिक न्यूरॉन, वो जो न्यूरॉन के अंदर है वहां से बाहर आने शुरू हो जाएंगे। तो अंदर से पॉजिटिव आयंस बाहर आने शुरू हो गए, तो अंदर पॉजिटिविटी जो है डिक्रीज हो रही है, ऑलरेडी वो नेगेटिव होता है और भी नेगेटिव होता जा रहा है, और इसके साथ साथ क्लोराइड चैनल्स भी ओपन हो जाएंगे। तो जब क्लोराइड चैनल्स ओपन हो जाएंगे तो देयर विल बी ओपनिंग ऑफ क्लोराइड चैनल्स, इट कॉज द मूवमेंट ऑफ क्लोराइड आयंस फ्रॉम द ECF टू द न्यूरॉन। तो जब क्लोराइड आयंस अंदर जाएंगे, क्लोराइड आयंस आर नेगेटिवली चार्ज आयंस, तो ये मजीद उस नेगेटिविटी को ज्यादा करते जाएंगे और भी नेगेटिव होता जाएगा। तो this the exit of potassium ion and influx of chloride ion, it will cause more negativity inside the membrane, or it will cause hyperpolar. Instead of repolarization there is hyperpolarization, और hyperpolarized state जब होती है किसी भी न्यूरॉन की तो उसमें साइनेप्टिक इनहिबिशन जो है वो साइनेप्टिक इनहिबिशन होती है, साइनेप्टिक जो ट्रांसमिशन है वो इन एक्शन पोटेंशियल ही जनरेट नहीं होता, क्योंकि एक्शन पोटेंशियल तो तब जनरेट होता है जब इनसाइड जो नेगेटिविटी है वो पॉजिटिविटी में चेंज हो जाए। और यहाँ पे क्या हो रहा है, वो नेगेटिविटी मजीद नेगेटिविटी में जा रही है, हाइपर पोलराइज हो रही है। जब वो हाइपर पोलराइज हो रही है तो वो जो ट्रांसमिशन है साइनेप्टिक ट्रांसमिशन वो क्या हो जाएगी, वो इनहिबिट हो जाएगी। तो दिस इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर द इनहिबिशन ऑफ द साइनेप्टिक ट्रांसमिशन। ये क्या था, डायरेक्ट ट्रांसमिशन। डायरेक्ट ट्रांसमिशन में एक्साइटेटरी के बजाय इनहिबिटरी न्यूरोट्रांसमीटर रिलीज हो गया और उसने क्या कर दिया, हाइपरपोलराइजेशन की। हाइपरपोलराइजेशन की तो इनहिबिशन हो गई। प्री साइनेप्टिक और इनडायरेक्ट इनहिबिशन, दिस इज प्री साइनेप्टिक लेवल पे ही इनहिबिशन हो रही है और इसलिए इसको कह रहे हैं इनडायरेक्ट। असल में पोस्ट साइनेप्टिक की इनहिबिशन हो रही है, लेकिन हो रही है प्री साइनेप्टिक लेवल पे, दैट्स व्हाई इट इज नोन एज इनडायरेक्ट इनहिबिशन। एंड प्री साइनेप्टिक इनहिबिशन occur due to the failure of pre-synaptic axon terminal to release the sufficient quantity of excited neurotransmitter, that's why it is known as प्री साइनेप्टिक मेम्ब्रेन पे जो इम्पल्स आ रही है, जो कि वो वेसिकल्स में से न्यूरोट्रांसमीटर को रिलीज करी है, वो न्यूरोट्रांसमीटर इतना कम रिलीज होता है कि वो जाके पोस्ट साइनेप्टिक मेम्ब्रेन को स्टिमुलेट ही नहीं कर सकता। तो इस तरह की जो इनहिबिशन है दिस इज नोन एज प्री साइनेप्टिक और इनडायरेक्ट इनहिबिशन। It is mediated by exoaxonal synapses, mostly ये exoaxonal में होती है. It is prominent in the spinal cord and regulate the propagation of information to the higher centers in the brain. Normally during the synaptic transmission, action potential reaching the presynaptic neuron produces development of EPSP, but in spinal cord इसमें एक मॉड्यूलेटरी न्यूरॉन है दैट इज नोन एज प्री साइनेप्टिक इनहिबिटरी न्यूरॉन, इट फॉर्म एन एक्सोएक्सोनिक साइनेप्स। ये एक एक्सोएक्सोनिक साइनेप्स बना लेता है विद द प्री साइनेप्टिक न्यूरॉन। ये है, अब देखिए ये नॉर्मल प्री साइनेप्टिक न्यूरॉन है और ये क्या है, पोस्ट साइनेप्टिक न्यूरॉन है, ठीक है। तो ये जो प्री साइनेप्टिक न्यूरॉन है इसमें उसी तरह वेसिकल्स हैं, उसी तरह इसमें न्यूरोट्रांसमीटर है, इसके साथ एक और न्यूरॉन का एक्सॉन अटैच हो जाता है। नाउ दिस इज आल्सो एक्सॉन एंड दिस इज आल्सो एक्सॉन, सो दिस इज एक्सोएक्सोनल कनेक्शन। तो इस एक्सोएक्सोनल कनेक्शन में ये वाला जो एक्सॉन है ये इस पे इनहिबिटरी इफेक्ट प्रोड्यूस करता है। इस इनहिबिटरी इफेक्ट की वजह से इसके अंदर जो न्यूरोट्रांसमीटर का रिलीज होता है वो रिलीज स्टॉप हो जाता है या कम हो जाता है। जब ये कम हो जाता है तो ये इस तरह से इनडायरेक्ट इनहिबिशन होती है कि पोस्ट साइनेप्टिक मेम्ब्रेन पे रिलीज ऑफ न्यूरोट्रांसमीटर कम हो जाता है। जब वो रिलीज ऑफ न्यूरोट्रांसमीटर कम होता है तो ये एक्साइट होने के बजाय क्या हो जाती है, एक्साइट नहीं होती, और एक्साइट नहीं होती तो ऑटोमेटिकली दिस इज नोन एज इनहिबिशन। तो ये जो इनहिबिटरी न्यूरॉन है ये इनहिबिट करता है प्री साइनेप्टिक न्यूरॉन को और ये डिक्रीज करता है मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ एक्शन पोटेंशियल को इन द प्री साइनेप्टिक न्यूरॉन। स्मॉलर एक्शन पोटेंशियल है द स्मॉलर एक्शन पोटेंशियल ये रिड्यूस करेगा उस कैल्शियम इन्फ्लक्स को जिसकी वजह से वेसिकल में से न्यूरोट्रांसमीटर रिलीज होता है। तो दिस इन टर्न डिक्रीजेस द क्वांटिटी ऑफ न्यूरोट्रांसमीटर, क्वांटिटी रिलीज जो है वो कम हो जाएगा। So the magnitude of EPSP in the postsynaptic neuron decrease हो जाएगा और it will result in the synaptic inhibition. Third one is Renshaw cell, or it is also known as negative feedback inhibition. Negative feedback inhibition में क्या होता है? It is the type of synaptic inhibition in which is caused by the Renshaw cells in the spinal cord. Renshaw cells क्या हैं? These are small motor neurons which are present in the anterior gray horn of the spinal cord. Spinal cord में दो areas हैं, white matter है और ग्रे मैटर है। ग्रे मैटर वो है जिसमें सेल बॉडीज होती हैं, व्हाइट मैटर वो है जिसमें प्रोसेसेस होते हैं, नर्व फाइबर्स होते हैं। तो रेनशॉ सेल्स जो हैं ये एक्चुअली स्मॉल मोटर न्यूरॉन्स हैं जो कि प्रेजेंट हैं एंटीरियर ग्रे हॉर्न ऑफ द स्पाइनल कॉर्ड में। एंटीरियर रूट nerve root consists of nerve fibers which leave the spinal cord. These nerve fibers arise from a motor neuron in the anterior gray horn of the spinal cord and reach the effector organs, muscles. Some of the fibers, which are called collateral fibers, terminate on the Renshaw cell instead of leaving the spinal cord. यहाँ पे मैं आपको डायग्राम दिखा देती हूँ पहले। ये एक नॉर्मल मोटर न्यूरॉन है, ठीक है। इस मोटर न्यूरॉन में से एक न्यूरॉन जो नर्व टर्मिनल है वो अराइज हुआ है, और ये नर्व टर्मिनल जो है जिसमें इम्पल्स जा रही है, और ये इम्पल्स आगे जाके इफेक्टर ऑर्गन को सप्लाई हो रही है, जैसे कि मसल है या ग्लैंड है। तो नॉर्मली क्या होता है कि नॉर्मली ये इम्पल्स जब जाती है तो ये जाके मसल पे अगर टर्मिनेट करिए तो मसल में कंट्रैक्शन या रिलैक्सेशन का प्रोसेस होता है। अब इस इनहिबिशन के प्रोसेस में क्या होता है, इसी मोटर न्यूरॉन के एक्सॉन में से एक ब्रांच अराइज होती है, दैट इज नोन एज कोलेटरल फाइबर। ये कोलेटरल फाइबर जाके एक सेल के ऊपर टर्मिनेट करती है, एंड दिस सेल इज आल्सो प्रेजेंट इन द स्पाइनल कॉर्ड, एंड ग्रे हॉर्न ऑफ द स्पाइनल कॉर्ड में है। और ये जो सेल है दिस इज नोन एज रेनशॉ सेल। अब यहाँ पे देखें पॉजिटिव साइन इंडिकेट कर रहा है कि ये एक नॉर्मल इम्पल्स आ रही है जो कि इस रेनशॉ सेल को स्टिमुलेट कर रही है, एक्साइट कर रही है। ये जब रेनशॉ सेल एक्साइट हो जाता है तो दिस इज रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर द इनहिबिशन। तो ये क्या करता है, ये आगे इम्पल्स भेजता है टू दिस न्यूरॉन, और ये जाके इसको क्या करता है, इनहिबिट करता है। नाउ दिस इज नोन एज फीडबैक मैकेनिज्म through the Renshaw cell, and this occur in the post synaptic level। इसमें क्या है, ये post synaptic neuron का pathway है। तो this type of inhibition is known as Renshaw cell और negative feedback inhibition। अब क्या होगा, मोटर न्यूरॉन इम्पल्स सेंड करेगा, कुछ इम्पल्स उसमें से रेनशॉ सेल में चली जाएगी, किस के जरिए जाएगी, ब्रांचेस के जरिए जाएगी विच आर नोन एज कोलेटरल। सो अब रेनशॉ सेल क्या करेगा, वो स्टिमुलेट हो जाएगा। जब वो स्टिमुलेट हो जाते हैं तो वो इंटर्न उसका काम क्या है, वो इनहिबिटरी इम्पल्सेस भेजता है टू द मोटर न्यूरॉन। तो डिस्चार्ज फ्रॉम द मोटर न्यूरॉन जो है वो इम्पल्स उसमें रिड्यूस हो जाएगी। इस तरह रेनशॉ सेल इनहिबिशन रिप्रेजेंट करता है नेगेटिव फीडबैक मैकेनिज्म को। And a Renshaw cell may be supplied by more than one alpha motor neuron collaterals, and it may synapse on many motor neurons. So this was the Renshaw cell inhibition or the negative feedback. Feed forward inhibition. Feed forward inhibition is the synaptic inhibition which occur in the cerebellum, and it control the neuronal activity in the cerebellum. During the process of neuronal activity in the cerebellum, stellate cells and basket cells, which are activated by the granule cells, it inhibits the Purkinje cells by releasing GABA, and this type of inhibition is known as feed forward inhibition. इसमें क्या है कि इसमें जो न्यूरोनल एक्टिविटी है, जो कि नॉर्मल न्यूरोनल एक्टिविटी है, उसमें क्या होता है, सेरिब्लम में ये सेल्स एक्टिवेट हो जाते हैं और ये वाले सेल्स जो हैं रिलीज करते हैं गाबा को। अब जब गाबा रिलीज हो जाएगा तो वो क्या करेगा, इनहिबिशन कर देगा फीड फॉरवर्ड, आगे की तरफ जो जा रही है। और फीडबैक या रेसिप्रोकल जो है इनहिबिशन क्या होती है कि इनहिबिशन होती है of the antagonistic muscles when a group of muscles are activated, it is known as reciprocal inhibition, and it is because of the reciprocal innervation। रेसिप्रोकल का क्या मतलब है कि एक न्यूरॉन जो है वो किसी चीज को अगर एक्साइट कर रहा है तो दूसरा न्यूरॉन जो है वो उसको इनहिबिट करे। तो जब वो इनहिबिशन एक्साइटेशन से ज्यादा हो जाती है तो that is known as reciprocal inhibition। significance क्या है इस inhibition की, synaptic inhibition की in the CNS? it limits the number of impulses going to the muscles and enable the muscles to act properly। and अगर number of impulses बहुत ज्यादा जाएंगी muscles को तो muscles की movement ज्यादा होगी, उसकी वजह से muscles में weakness आएगी। तो एक प्रॉपर और अप्रोप्रिएट मसल मूवमेंट के लिए प्रॉपर और नॉर्मल इम्पल्सेस का होना जरूरी है, और उसके लिए इनहिबिशन जरूरी है। हर वक्त एक्साइटेशन होगी, नंबर ऑफ इम्पल्सेस ज्यादा होती जाएंगी, नंबर ऑफ इम्पल्सेस ज्यादा होंगी तो मस्कुलर मूवमेंट ज्यादा होगी, मस्कुलर मूवमेंट ज्यादा होगी तो मसल वीकनेस, और फिर वो जो मायोपैथी है, मसल वीकनेस इतनी हो जाती है कि बिल्कुल ही कंट्रैक्शन पॉसिबल नहीं होती फिर, तो ये प्रॉब्लम्स आ सकते हैं। दस इनहिबिशन जो है वो किस चीज में हेल्प करता है, टू सिलेक्ट द एग्जैक्ट नंबर ऑफ इम्पल्सेस एंड टू emit और ब्लॉक द एक्सेस। एक्सेस वन को ये ब्लॉक कर देता है और उतनी ही इम्पल्सेस को ये डिस्चार्ज करता है जितनी की रिक्वायर्ड है। when a poison like strychnine is introduced into the body, so it destroy the function at synaptic level, resulting in continuous and convulsive contraction even when the slight stimulation। in the nervous disorders like Parkinsonism, the inhibitory system is impaired, resulting in rigidity। तो स्ट्रिक्नीन एक पॉइजन है जो कि पुराने जमाने में ये जो तीरों से लड़ाई होती थी उसके तीर के ऊपर भी लगाया जाता था। तो ये क्या करता है कि ये जाके इस इनहिबिटरी फंक्शन को डिस्ट्रॉय कर देता है। जब इनहिबिटरी फंक्शन डिस्ट्रॉय हो जाते हैं तो सारे एक्साइटेटरी फंक्शंस जो हैं वो रह जाते हैं, जिसकी वजह से नंबर ऑफ इम्पल्सेस ज़्यादा होती हैं, तो उसकी वजह से कन्वल्सिव कंट्रैक्शन, एबनॉर्मल कंट्रैक्शंस होती हैं बॉडी में। और जो नर्वस डिसऑर्डर्स हैं लाइक पार्किंसोनिज्म है, तो इसमें भी इनहिबिटरी सिस्टम जो है वो इम्पेयर्ड हो जाता है, इनहिबिटरी न्यूरोट्रांसमीटर कम हो जाता है, तो जिसकी वजह से मसल्स में रिजिडिटी आ जाती है। प्रॉपर्टीज जो है साइनेप्स की क्या है, एक तो पहली बात तो ये है कि ये वन वे कंडक्शन करता है, इम्पल्सेस ट्रांसमिट होती हैं वन डायरेक्शन में, दैट इज फ्रॉम द प्री साइनेप्टिक टू द पोस्ट साइनेप्टिक। और एक होता है इसमें सिंपैथेटिक डिले, डिले का मतलब है थोड़ा सा लेट हो जाता है। क्यों लेट होता है? क्योंकि ड्यूरिंग द ट्रांसमिशन बहुत से प्रोसेसेस हो रहे हैं, लाइक रिलीज में थोड़ा टाइम लग जाता है, फिर पैसेज ऑफ न्यूरोट्रांसमीटर फ्रॉम द एक्सॉन टर्मिनल टू द पोस्ट साइनेप्टिक मेम्ब्रेन, action of neurotransmitter to open the ionic channels in the postsynaptic membrane। तो इसमें थोड़ा सा टाइम लगता है, that is known as synaptic delay। और normal जो duration है it is 0.3 to 0.5 millisecond। Synaptic delay is one of the causes for the reaction time of the reflex activity। Significance क्या है इस डिले की? कि determination of delay help to find out whether the pathway for a reflex is monosynaptic or polysynaptic। दूसरा fatigue जो है, during continuous muscular activity synapse become to seat or fatigue along with the bed cells which are present in the motor area of the frontal lobe of the cerebral cortex। and fatigue at synapse is due to the depletion of neurotransmitter substance which is acetylcholine। फटीक का मतलब ये कि थोड़ा कम इसकी इम्पल्स कम हो जाती है, जैसे थक जाते हैं तो काम थोड़ा कम हो जाता है। जस्ट लाइक दैट साइनेप्स की भी अगर कंटिन्यूस स्टिमुलेशन होगी तो उसमें जो स्टोर्ड न्यूरोट्रांसमीटर्स हैं वो यूटिलाइज हो जाएंगे और आहिस्ता आहिस्ता फिर न्यूरोट्रांसमीटर बनेंगे, तो उसकी वजह से न्यूरोट्रांसमीटर सब्सटेंस में कमी आएगी। तो फटीक जो साइनेप्टिक लेवल पे हम फटीक कहते हैं, उसका मतलब ये है कि जो न्यूरोट्रांसमीटर है वो थोड़ा कम हो गया है, जिसकी वजह से जो ट्रांसमिशन है या जो इम्पल्स है वो थोड़ी कम हो गई है। डिप्लीशन ऑफ एसिटाइलकोलिन क्यों होती है? क्योंकि एसिटाइलकोलिन जो है जैसे ही साइनेप्टिक क्लेफ्ट में जाता है, अभी जैसे मैंने पीछे आपको बताया कि वहां पे एंजाइम्स हैं दैट इज कोलिन इस्ट्रेज, तो वहां पे एसिटाइलकोलिन इस्ट्रेज है वो उसको डिस्ट्रॉय कर लेता है। तो वो जो एसिटाइलकोलिन दोबारा वापस रीयूटिलाइज हो सकता है, वो कम हो जाता है, जिसकी वजह से नया एसिटाइलकोलिन बनेगा, नया एसिटाइलकोलिन बनेगा, तो उसकी वजह से डिले आता है। दूसरा कॉन्टिन्यूस एक्शन है, तो न्यू एसिटाइलकोलिन जल्दी जल्दी सिंथेसाइज नहीं होता, आहिस्ता आहिस्ता सिंथेसाइज होता है, जिसकी वजह से फटीग आते हैं। सबमिशन, व्हाट इज सबमिशन? सबमिशन मींस सम अप। कोई अगर जो फंक्शन है जब वो समअप हो जाता है, ज्यादा हो जाता है, दैट इज नोन एज समिशन। दैट इज द फ्यूजन ऑफ इफेक्ट्स और प्रोग्रेसिव इंक्रीज इन द एक्साइटेटरी postsynaptic potential in postsynaptic neuron when many presynaptic excitatory terminals are stimulated simultaneously or when single presynaptic terminal is stimulated repeatedly। क्या होगा? बहुत से प्रीसाइनेप्टिक न्यूरॉन्स आके एक ही पोस्ट साइनेप्टिक को स्टिमुलेट करने, तो ये वो सारी इम्पल्सेस जो उसको स्टिमुलेट करेंगे वो सम अप हो जाएंगे और रिस्पॉन्स इंक्रीज हो जाएगा। या क्या होगा कि प्री साइनेप्टिक बार बार स्टिमुलेट हो रहा है, बार बार उसको स्टिमुलस मिल रहा है और वो बार बार स्टिमुलेट करे पोस्ट साइनेप्टिक को, तो वो भी इम्पल्स जो है वो सम अप हो जाती है और वो इंक्रीज करता है रिस्पॉन्स को, इंक्रीज करता है एक्साइटेटरी पोस्ट साइनेप्टिक पोटेंशियल को। इट ट्रिगर्स द एक्सॉन पोटेंशियल इन द इनिशियल सेगमेंट ऑफ द एक्सॉन ऑफ द पोस्ट साइनेप्टिक न्यूरॉन। सबमिशन अब टू टाइप्स की हो सकती हैं, एक है स्पेशियल और एक है टेम्पोरल। स्पेशियल अकर when many presynaptic terminals are stimulated, or temporal when one presynaptic terminal is stimulated repeatedly। Thus both spatial and temporal play an important role in the facilitation of रिस्पॉन्स। इस टाइप की है। ये देखें, ये स्पेशियल है। स्पेशियल में क्या है, एक ये एक्सॉन है और इसको बहुत से प्री साइनेप्टिक न्यूरॉन जो है वो स्टिमुलेट कर रहे हैं, ये भी स्टिमुलेट कर रहे हैं, ये भी कर रहे हैं, ये भी कर रहे हैं, ये भी कर रहे हैं, तो ये इनका सम अप रिजल्ट आता है। तो इसमें जो ईपीएसपी बनता है वो इंक्रीज होता है। और ये टेम्पोरल है। टेम्पोरल का क्या मतलब है, एक ही प्री साइनेप्टिक न्यूरॉन एक ही पोस्ट साइनेप्टिक को स्टिमुलेट करिए, लेकिन बार बार करिए, रिपीटेड स्टिमुलेशन हो रही है, जिसकी वजह से ये इफेक्ट जो है वो इंक्रीज कर जाता है। और इलेक्ट्रिकल प्रॉपर्टी है किसकी, इलेक्ट्रिकल प्रॉपर्टीज ऑफ साइनैप्स क्या है, ईपीएसपी है और आईपीएसपी है, जो कि हमने बहुत डिटेल से पढ़ लिए। कन्वर्जेंस और डाइवर्जेंस, कन्वर्जेंस और डाइवर्जेंस क्या होता है, कन्वर्ज मीन किसी एक पॉइंट पे जब रेज, आपने फिजिक्स में पढ़ा होगा कि एक पॉइंट पे सारी की सारी रेज इकट्ठी हो जाती है, उनको कहते हैं कन्वर्जेंस। और डाइवर्जेंस जब वो इस तरह फैल जाती हैं, उनको कहते हैं डाइवर्ज कर जाती हैं, उनको कहते हैं डाइवर्जेंस। तो कन्वर्जेंस इज द प्रोसेस बाय व्हिच मेनी प्री साइनेप्टिक न्यूरॉन टर्मिनेट ऑन अ सिंगल पोस्ट। जैसे अभी हमने पीछे स्पेशियल की बात की, सबमिशन की, कि बहुत से प्री साइनेप्टिक न्यूरॉन्स जब एक ही पोस्ट साइनेप्टिक न्यूरॉन के ऊपर टर्मिनेट करते हैं तो उसको हम कन्वर्जेंस कहते हैं। और डाइवर्जेंस क्या होती है, इट इज द प्रोसेस बाय व्हिच वन प्री साइनेप्टिक न्यूरॉन terminate on many post-synaptic neuron. This is known as divergence. ये देखें, this is convergence. यहाँ पे बहुत से प्री साइनेप्टिक न्यूरॉन एक न्यूरॉन के ऊपर टर्मिनेट कर रहे हैं, तो दिस इज कन्वर्जेंस। और ये है डाइवर्जेंस, एक प्री साइनेप्टिक न्यूरॉन है, ये इसके एक्सॉन, तो एक एक्सॉन इस पे आ रहा है, एक इस पे, एक इस पे, तो ये अपना इफेक्ट जो है वो फैला रहा है, बहुत से न्यूरॉन्स को ये स्टिमुलेट कर रहा है, दिस इज नोन एज डाइवर्जेंस। और यहाँ पे बहुत से न्यूरॉन्स एक को ही स्टिमुलेट करें, दिस इज नोन एज convergence. So this was all about the synapse.